Hello, this is Sarah, Painty Creator here. I hope you're having a lovely day doing whatever you're doing, and thank you for joining me. I'm carrying on doing some smaller pieces for us so that when we've got a little bit of time or a little bit of energy, we can find something to paint. So I'm just working on A5 size today, which is half a sheet of A4. It's approximately 14 centimetres across and 21 centimetres up. And it's taped to my board. I'm working on roughly a 20-degree angle, 15-20 degrees, and I'm using my usual Creative Peak watercolour paper. I've only ever found this on Amazon. I don't know if anybody else has found it anywhere else, but it's quite good quality for the price. So I can get 64 sheets for around about £15–16. Sometimes it comes on offer, and that means that each sheet is around about 23–24 pence. So this is 12 pence, which is quite good. I have to look at it like that because if I use the expensive stuff I get a bit stressed, and I like to be able to enjoy what I'm doing. And I'm using my Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolour set today, with one or two additions I have in it, but it's basically that well used. And when they are coming to the end and empty, you can either refill them with a little tube. So my alizarin crimson's nearly empty. Or you can buy another little pan and just take that out and then put a new one back in. So it's quite a nice way of working, and again they are reasonable price. We've got paper towel, 2 large jars of water, and I've got my mop brushes today. So I'm just washing my brush and I'm picking up some rose madder hue or permanent rose, either of those two, and you get a really nice pink. And I'm wanting it to be fairly thick. Just working it a little bit into my brush as well. There we go, some nice pink today. And I'm going to start off with just a sort of a swirly little petal. Might make that a little bit fatter. So nice lot of water on my page and a swirly little petal. And then next door to it, I'm going to put another swirly little petal in at the bottom. And then down here, I'm going to just use my brush and just put a rounded petal. A really nice way of getting to know sort of how the pressure on your brush works. And then maybe another sort of rounded petal here. Pressing that brush down. And then we're going to go for a little swirl. Nice. And then around the top, I'm just going to put a few little curvy swirls. And get in there. I'm going to just extend this one a little bit. Yeah, it's a nice shape. And then maybe a little bit there. Yeah, good shape. So I'm just going to leave that for a little bit, just to start to settle, and I'm going to pick up some of that alizarin crimson. So a bit of a deeper red, but alizarin crimson's really lovely. It's translucent, and I'm just going to put it all mixed beautifully into our little peony, because that's what I'm painting today. A little peony. I'm just going to lift it flat. Drag out some of this. Little stylized peony today. So as it's drying, I'm just using some of that paint to sort of help create a little bit more direction. Nice. So I've got a big blob here, so I've used a thirsty brush. So wet your brush, take the water out, and then you can soak up anything that you want. Same here, wet my brush and soak up any excess paint that you don't want there. As long as there's less water on your brush than what's on the paper, you will be able to lift up and soak up whatever you want. And just spend a little bit of mindful time. Just letting it do its thing. And so this is just a damp brush, and I'm just lifting some of those sort of petal highlights off. There we go. I'm just going to let that dry naturally. It'll soften some of the edges, which will be lovely. And it feels very much sort of part and parcel of the page that way. If you wanted to soften some areas, you can do that with a soft brush. I'm just letting that settle a little bit into there. So whilst that's settling, I'm going to use some sap green with a little bit of ultramarine in, just to darken it a little bit. You can use a bit of indigo if you want it even darker, but I just like to take that off, and I've just swapped onto my small mop brush, And I'm going to do that sort of nice stem down in one stroke. And I love where it's touching, that's fine. So I'm coming out on an angle. I'm just going to drop a little bit more onto here. And then I'm going to push with my brush and then pull up. Pull up. Pull up, and then I'm going to join those onto the stem. And whilst it's still damp, I'm going to drop a little bit of burnt sienna into those leaves. That's nice. So, same again, let's do them on this side. Stem out, leaf, darken them off. You might not have to darken them off. It sometimes just depends how much water is being held on your mop brush. I'm just going to add some burnt sienna into these as well. I just like that extra two-tone look on there. And then join them up. And then maybe we can pop a little bud over here. Let's put a little bud. So little peony buds are really quite tight. I've just picked up a bit of a mixture of both of them. I'm just having to mix a little bit more green mix. So whilst this is damp, I'm just going to drop some burnt sienna into there. Nice and loose. And there we are, a nice little quick peony flower. Again, would make a nice little flower for somebody's birthday or a gift tag or anything. So I'm going to finish with a little bit of a splatter because I like splattering, and I'm going to pick up that pink as my splatter, and I'm just going to drop some splatter into here. And then I'm going to drop a little bit of the green in as well. Oh, always like a good splatter. Oh, lovely. So, there we go. Hope you've enjoyed that little bit of fun, and I hope you give it a go. So until next time, enjoy and have fun.